Well, this just boggles the mind. I Humbling is doesn't cover the gratitude that I have. Let me read this to you. It's incredible. Josh, we just want to thank you for your YouTube videos. We are overwhelmed trying to plan for our retirement and frightened by the internet articles telling us what it would take to retire. Your 2-bucket plan and subsequent videos remove the anxiety. You were a breath of fresh air and helped us see that we could retire based on being debt-free, creating a plan based on expenditures, investing through Vanguard, and having several years of cash to help with the market down years. My husband's going to retire this year. I'll retire next. God led us to you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Blessing to you and your family. I get emails like this a lot, actually. Look, I'm not trying to sound arrogant. It's incredible. I'm just some dude on YouTube, on the internet, and obviously I have experience, but I don't get my monkey suit anymore. I don't even shave half the time. Half the time I got Splinty with me, and yet two things. I don't know. Well, I don't even know where I'm going to go with this, but two things is that what annoys me more than anything is that there's so much good that could be done in the financial industry if they just get out of their way. And I mean, why does it take me to do this? And look, I've always kind of in my thought process, I always kind of felt that once my channel grows more and more, I'm sure the regulators are going to be on me like white on rice. And at some point, I won't be able to take clients anymore because I won't be able to. The regulators will essentially shut me down. They'll say, well, you're doing this for entertainment purposes, but you can't give advice on YouTube and take clients. I don't know how. No one knows. No one knows how it's going to be. And the thing that annoys me is are we helping the average consumer when their anxiety is so high that they lose sleep at night, which I hear all the time. I mean, there's a guy, I'm trying to get an interview with him. Until I get my books, I'm just putting everything on hold. But this guy, he runs what's his name? I forgot. But he runs his website. Let me find him. Hold on just a second. His name's Bill Singer, and he writes a website called brokeandbroker.com, Wall Street's leading online resource. Anyway, let's see. As you may know from my content over the years, since the mid-1990s when I've launched the NASD dissident movement, now known as the FINRA dissident movement, I've complained about the unfair and inconsistent enforcement protocol promulgated under the banner of self-regulation. I will continue to shine a light on the corruption within that system and to criticize the inept and inconsistent manner in which many of our industry's smaller firms and individual registered reps are regulated. So anyway, the interesting thing with him is I emailed him about USA's arbitration, how they've lost now $4 million to 3 people, and there's about 10 more on deck because he had written an article about the lawsuit. And I said, man, just thanks. I said, look, I just appreciate that because the industry is insanely, it's corrupt. There's no other way around that. The idea some guys could be literally loss of their incomes and maybe even loss of life because it's so devastating to some of these people who I knew that USA slandered. Thankfully, they have to pay. But this guy's been writing about it for years. And I think it's awesome. I emailed him and said, dude, I just appreciate what you're doing. But here's the issue. All that regulation. Yet we got this lady here who just emailed me saying how anxious she was to retire, even though she has no debt. So so here I come, just some dude on the internet, and I have 25 experience. I'm a student of the business. I love this stuff, and I love people. And at the end of the day, I think God says, dude, just go out there and talk to people about this. Keep it simple, stupid. And for some reason, I've been blessed with that ability to relate what some would say complex terms to regular folks. I don't know why, but it seems like I have that gift, and it's great. Look, don't take this, I'm saying anything arrogantly. I'm just saying somehow when I explain it, some people get it, other people don't. I get that, but it's great. So I get out there on YouTube, I explain some stuff that for me seems pretty common sense, but apparently the vast consuming audience, for them, it's like, oh, it's the first time I've ever heard this. It's a breath of fresh air. And I'm thinking, why? Well, this doesn't make any sense, man. Why should old Josh, your old buddy Josh, be the one guy? It doesn't make sense. And then I talked to this lady, Liz Hand, who I like a lot. And she's trying to do a YouTube channel, but she has to go through these hoops and regulation to put this good information out there on her YouTube channel. And she can only do a couple videos because it takes so long for the regulatory regulations to say, oh, it's okay. I'm just like, she's not saying buy X stock versus Y stock. Why can't she get out there and say what's inherently beneficial to the consuming public? So then we have people like this lady out there by the droves who don't know. They don't know. Because there's the people who are the fine people of the financial advisory industry, which there are many. They're legion. But they're subject to this regulatory environment that they can't say what's true. And then you got the big firms that the only thing they're looking at is their bottom line. In fact, my friend Jack Zarinsky over at I did an email I did a podcast with him. I forgot his firm's name. I'll have to look him up. But anyway, Jack, he sent me a thing on the cult of Costco. Now, Costco puts its customers before its bottom line. Obviously, it's got to make a profit. But in Wall Street, the shareholders are like, yeah, you got to make more money. And the shareholders are always the corporate titans, the hedge fund managers and whatnot. They're like, no, we're not doing that. We're going to put our customers first. And our customers are loyal. And I look, Costco is run by a bunch of libs, but I'm loyal as hell to Costco because I love the place. And they're but they're left wing. I know that. But anyway, the issue is that you have these big box financial advisory firms, literally big box is what it is, shuffling products for fees. That's what it is. Then you got the smaller people like Liz Hand who says, look, there's a better way than that, but I can't do it. I'm chained to be able to offer advice. And so because of that, she can't do it and take clients and manage money and all that. And I refuse to manage money because I think that would make me more inclined to be regulated where I can't say what I want to say. So I'm not going to manage money. But I have a sneaky suspicion it's only a matter of time for the SEC, whoever, I don't know what it would come down to. I don't have any money, so I don't think it would be SEC. But whatever I don't even know what the regulators are. I don't know. No one knows this stuff because if you don't manage money, they're like, well, how do you get paid? Well, I get paid for offering financial plans. You don't give investment advice? No. It's an asset allocation. Index funds, that's it. So that you don't get freaking 60% stocks, S&P 500 index, the total stock market index, I don't care. Get 40% bonds, the Ginnie Mae or the total bond index, I don't care. It's up to you to do it. This is, in terms of risk tolerance, this is what looks good to me, but you take it for that. But I talk a lot about taxes, we'll talk about estate planning. But at the end of the day, you got these people like Liz, because they do manage money for clients who are willing to pay them, they can't say what needs to be said. And so everyone's sitting out there like on freaking pins and needles when they don't need to be. And it ticks me off. It ticks me off something wicked. Why should I be the one guy out there? And there's other people like Dustin. Dustin manages money, Dustin Tibbetts. But he's got literally a phone call with the SEC at all the time. And he's got to go in there on his comments and make sure that nothing is seen as recommendation. I mean, it's just freaking stupid. It's nuts. That means, so Dustin does it, but he took the time deliberately from Jaswell, Dustin Tibbetts from Jaswell, to make sure that because he does manage money, that he's in compliance with the SEC. And the SEC was very helpful to him. They pick up the phone, they talk to him, but he says, look, I got to delete these. So he's got to go in there and delete comments that look like any stretch that could be misconstrued as a recommendation. And so for me, I just know I have to assume it's only a matter of time before the SEC says you got to make a choice. No, it's not the SEC because I don't have anything with them because I don't manage money. I don't know who it would be. You got to make a choice. Help clients or do YouTube. And by then I'll just do YouTube because it's just, because I think like this lady here, she'll never be a client. She actually donated $100 to me, which is freaking awesome. But she'll probably never be a client. But at least, I'm reaching her and, dozens, hundreds, thousands just like her. And it's great. And I get these emails all the time about that. And again, not trying to sound arrogant, but it's incredible. And it's freaking motivating. It motivates me like I cannot tell you. It's so incredibly motivating to hear how people were anxious and now they're not. And, but it's also insane because I'm sitting there thinking, how come there are other people doing this stuff? I don't get it. And I know partly it's because the industry is so heavily regulated that no one can freaking sneeze without the SEC or FINRA or whoever else, their state regulatory agency, freaking, having to allow you to wipe your nose. It's nuts. It's insanity, man. The Investment Company Act of 1940 and the the first one, 1934. This was before. I mean, we're using the same regulatory environment from the Investment Company Act of 1940 or 1930, whatever the hell it was. But it's something. I think the Investment Company Act was 1940, but there's two laws in 1934, which we had to know to pass your various Series 7s, your various licenses. I mean, it's from literally a time, but these are the laws that dictate the regulatory environment that was before there's ever even a cell phone, before we had any cable TV, before anyone even had color TV. And yet we're still using those laws. It's insanity, man. And it's hurting the average consumer because the average consumer doesn't know where to go. Because everyone who gets paid in this business, basically everyone, is doing it through asset management fees for investment advice. No one is doing it for financial planning. And because of that, no one knows. And because they're like, well, I don't want to turn over my money to that guy. Well, I don't get financial planning advice. I mean, there's got to be. It can't be like this. People are being hurt. People like Miss Jane. She'd have enough money to see an investment advisor. I guess some guy would charge a commission, but just think about it. If you're charging somebody who's only got $100,000, a 4% commission on the front end, you're making $4,000. How much? I mean, literally, you got to think, how much real financial planning is that person going to do? I don't know why has to be so difficult. I don't know why that old Josh is making an impact on people like these people so much where they donated $100 to me. I don't know why that's the case. And it bothers me to no end because the vast majority of people don't have $1 million. The financial advisory business all focuses on that tiny, tiny segment of the vast majority of the population that has $1 million in investable assets. But it's not even just $1 million in investable assets. It's got to be $1 million in investable assets plus the willingness to pay the fee for that $1 million in investable assets. Things got to change, man. It's just nuts. And I'm hoping, I was watching Mark Kohler the other day. I like that guy. I got a couple friends that are encouraging, all get out to start because they're good, they're smart, they're students of the business just like me, but they're handcuffed to what they can say. And I'm like, you just got to go on your own and just start doing it. There's got to be a freaking rebellion. The barbarians got to take over. That's what's got to happen because this is nuts, man. That the average consumer like these people are scared crapless of their retirement, even though they have no debt, because everything else out there tells them to be fearful. That's not right. And then if they go talk to somebody, that somebody's going to say, I can manage your money. Anyway. All right. Well, I appreciate you all being here. Some of you asked for a specific advice via email. I can't give you specific advice, man. I can't do it. I can't. So one guy just emailed me today, kind of upset. I said, I can't give you specific advice. I don't know him. I don't know your situation. He goes, well, your YouTube channel. I said, no. YouTube isn't specific to you, man. I can't give you specific advice. There's no way. So just FYI, I hear on occasion like, hey, what do you think? Should I do this or that relative to my TSP or relative to my bank? I don't email me that stuff because going forward, I'm just going to have to delete it because I emailed this guy back trying to be nice and he kind of, I didn't like this response to me. Actually kind of bothered me. It's like, dude, I can't give you advice. I mean, not like that, but people who pay me for financial planning services literally pay me either $950 or $2,500. I can't just, so they do that so I can actually learn a little bit about them so we can talk specific strategies. Can't just some guy emails me saying, hey, what do you think I should, I don't know. I don't know your circumstance. I don't know if you have a special needs daughter, if you have debt, I don't know. And so because don't email me saying all that stuff because it's not fair that people pay me. So anyway, just want to point that out that I do get on occasion some people say, hey, what do you think about this specific investment? I'm not even going to answer those emails anymore simply because I can't. I cannot give specific advice. But your YouTube channel is specific. No, it's not specific to you. It's just not. It's general consumption. And you got to figure out your own stuff. Or you can hire somebody. I mean, there's tons of people out there willing to take you on as a client, that's fine too. But you can't get free stuff out there and expect it to be specific to you. It's just not. All right. Anyways, don't forget to smash. We'll see you next time. Thanks now.